Imagine a world where your value, your family, and your freedom are not your own, but instead are dictated by an economic system that thrives on your exploitation. This was the harsh reality for millions of enslaved individuals in the southern United States, a reality that not only shaped their lives, but also the very fabric of the American economy. The role of slavery in the southern U.S. economy was monumental, serving as the backbone of the region's prosperity and setting the stage for a conflict that would tear the country apart. The Southern economy's reliance on slavery was not a matter of mere convenience, but a crucial component of its agricultural dominance. Cotton, tobacco, and sugarcane, crops that demanded intensive labor, were the lifeblood of the South and the engine of its economic growth. These crops were not just commodities, they were symbols of wealth and power, cultivated through the sweat and blood of enslaved Africans brought to the American shores in chains. The southern states produced as much as 75% of the world's supply of cotton, earning it the nickname King Cotton. This wasn't just an agricultural triumph, it was an economic strategy built on the backs of the enslaved. The profitability of these crops, particularly cotton, fueled a vicious cycle of demand for slave labor. As cotton became more profitable, due in part to the invention of the cotton gin by Eli Whitney in 1793, plantations expanded, and so did the demand for enslaved workers. This demand perpetuated the domestic slave trade, tearing families apart and subjecting millions to a life of bondage purely for economic gain. Consider the human cost of these economic decisions. Children separated from parents, spouses split apart, and individuals stripped of their humanity, all for the cultivation of a crop. The economic benefits of slavery were not limited to the agricultural sector. The wealth generated by slavery bolstered the entire Southern economy, financing infrastructure projects, banks, and international trade. The ports of Charleston, Savannah, and New Orleans thrived, bustling with activity as ships carried cotton, tobacco, and sugar to markets around the globe. These economic activities transformed southern cities into commercial hubs, directly tying the prosperity of urban centers to the exploitation of enslaved laborers. However, the economic advantages brought by slavery to the South had a dark underside. It created a stark class divide within the Southern society, concentrating wealth and power in the hands of a few plantation elites while leaving many white Southerners impoverished, unable to compete with the labor costs of slave-based agriculture. This inequality sowed seeds of discontent, creating societal rifts that persist to this day. The moral and economic contradictions of slavery eventually led to its undoing. The growing abolitionist movement in the North, fueled by the stark portrayals of slavery's brutality, such as those in Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin, brought the issue to the forefront of national consciousness. The moral crusade against slavery clashed with the economic interests of the South, culminating in the Civil War, a violent reckoning over the future of slavery and America's soul. The legacy of slavery's role in the Southern economy is a testament to the enduring scars it has left on American society. The wealth amassed through centuries of exploitation helped build institutions and fortunes that persist today. Yet, the cost was immeasurable, a cost borne by those who lived in chains and those whose lives were shattered by the loss of loved ones to the slave trade. The deep socioeconomic divisions that slavery created between the North and South, the rich and the poor, blacks and whites, have rippled through generations. Slavery's role in the Southern U.S. economy is not just a chapter in a history book. It is a cautionary tale of how economic systems can justify the dehumanization of individuals for profit. It is a stark reminder of the human capacity for both cruelty and resilience, a challenge to confront the legacies of our past to build a more equitable future. As we reflect on this dark period of American history, let us not forget the lives that were forever altered by an economy that valued cotton more than human dignity. Their stories, their suffering, and their resistance must not be forgotten, for in them we find the strength to fight against injustice wherever we see it today.